Tonight, string, soul, and strokes of brilliance light up this inspired episode of Kelowna After Dark. In the spotlight, violinist and visual artist Kelsey Zachary blends classical skill with wild creativity. Musician, author, and storyteller Michael Averill walks us into wonder. And closing the night with bold color and fearless flair, painter Shannon brings the canvas to life. Plus, join the LUXX at Knox Mountain as we interview the locals. On the Creative Edge, remix the classics, how old idea becomes fresh creative fuel. Get ready, After Darkers. And now, here's your host, LUXX.
Hey, what's up, what's up? Welcome to Kelowna After Dark. I'm LUXX, I'm your host, and this is the best place to be once the sun goes down. Now, Kelowna may be known for wine, sunshine, and suspiciously aggressive geese, but let me tell you, this place has serious creative roots. I'm talking deep, like the kind of deep that sneaks up on you mid-brushstroke or halfway through a violin solo, when suddenly your feelings hit louder than the bass drum. Let's talk about it. You ever walk through the cultural district downtown? It's basically 6 blocks of artsy fabulousness, packed with theaters, galleries, sculptures, and the street performers turning curves into concerts, sharing music not for fame, but because it's how their heart beats. We've got over 70 public art installations scattered across the city. That's right, Kelowna is literally decorated with creative expression. It's like the whole city said, yes, let's accessorize, but make it meaningful. And get this, one of our most iconic pieces is a set of fruit crate benches covered in vintage mosaic labels, a literal snack of public artwork. It's our city's way of saying, here's our history, and also a cute place to rest your butt. And I mean, I can totally work with that. And let's not forget the Kelowna Art Gallery. Born in 1977, almost 50 years of lifting up local legends and giving future icons their first gallery walls. It's seen more brushstrokes than a CoverGirl commercial. Or take Rutland, where bold murals splash across buildings like someone dripped the whole neighborhood in creativity. From giant animals to abstract dreams, it's a visual mixtape of local talent. So what's the point? Kelowna didn't just wake up one day and say, let there be art. It grew roots. It nurtured hidden talents. It turned orchard towns into sculptured strolls. It's turned community spaces into galleries without walls. And that, my lovelies, is culture. It's where creativity lives. So what does all of this tell us? Kelowna didn't just become creative. We've always been quietly electric. From orchard bins to gallery walls, from parades to poetry slams, we've been turning everyday moments into expression for generations. And you're part of that. We are the next wave of cultural makers, mural painters, melody slayers, midnight editors, bedroom beat makers, and side hustle storytellers. We are the reason someone feels seen, heard, inspired. And tonight, we carry the torch, or at least a bedazzled lighter. Okay, Kelowna. I hope you're ready for a little soul, a little sass, and a whole lot of strings. Our next guest is a powerhouse violinist, a passionate music teacher, and a fierce advocate for the arts, all wrapped up in one brilliant bow. Based in Summerlin, she's been in love with the violin since she could talk, started studying serious music programs before most of us knew what a scale was, and now brings magic to every performance, whether it's Bach, a folk tune, or the Star Wars theme at your wedding. And yeah, seriously, that's actually happened. How badass is that? She's all about keeping music fun, fresh, and full of feeling, whether she's mentoring students, lighting up a stage, or advocating for the value of live performance in a world of auto-tune and algorithms. She's also a survivor, someone who's faced down adversity, had to put her music on pause, and eventually made a powerful return to the stage with violin in hand and a comeback anthem all her own. Now she's back where she belongs, inspiring students, igniting joy, and proving that resilience has a rhythm all of its own. Please give it up for the vibrant, talented, and unforgettable Kelsey Zachary. Hello, pretty lady. Can I hug you?
Absolutely.
Yay! Welcome to Kelowna After Dark.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Come sit on the big comfy couch, chair, something. Have a chat with us.
Yes, absolutely.
Thank you so much for being here today with us.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. How's your day going, love?
So far, so good.
That's great. Got to get the poof
I
under
know, right?
control
So,
here. Yeah. All right. Are you ready to have me get all up in your business?
Yeah.
All right, it's go time. So you've been drawn to the violin since before kindergarten, right? What do you remember about that early love for music?
Music was present in my family from right when I was little, and my older siblings all played piano.
Oh, that's neat.
And I was like, no, I don't want to play piano because that's what they do. And I remember being around like 3 years old, and my grandma was like, see this person on the TV playing violin. Like, I think you could do that. And I can remember like that kind of planted the seed. And I go to like Peach Fest Parade in Penticton, and you'd see fiddle players on the back of trucks and stuff. And so that was, I just kept asking and asking and asking. And by the time I turned 7, I finally had a violin in my hand.
That's amazing.
Yeah. And I haven't looked back since.
Yeah, go parents for like noticing like, okay, we got to do this.
Well, I think it was very much like they were like, no piano lessons. And I was like, no, I want a violin. Give me the violin.
You know, that takes such strength and courage to go against what your family expects.
Yeah,
of you.
totally.
You know, love, support, all of that.
Yeah.
You're like, hey, I'm over here with my little weird.
Absolutely.
I
For
dig
sure.
it.
Yeah.
Good for you.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. So.
Can you tell us about the moment that music came back into your life after your healing journey?
Yeah, so for those who don't know, I have something called trigeminal neuralgia, which is an incurable disease. And so when I was towards the end of my music program at university, I had to actually step away from the instrument entirely for a few years. And so it was a gradual process to come back to it. I had to have brain surgery, and so that kind of sets a person back a little bit. Yeah, so essentially it was a very gradual kind of return to it, and not knowing if my body would respond and let me do it, and also knowing that I'd lost some of my technique from not playing for a number of years. But like every little gig I would get, or when I would get a new student, it just like I was like, oh yeah, I've missed this, and it's really a part of my identity that was just like, oh gosh, I have it again, you know, because when you've done something so intensely since you were so little, it becomes a part of your identity, right?
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
when you can't do it anymore, you kind of flounder a little. So, and I definitely did that. So when I got it back, I was like, yay, I feel whole again.
Oh, that's wonderful. And that takes so much courage, too, because that can be overwhelming to
100%
go through something like that.
Yeah, absolutely. To go from playing 8 to 12 hours a day to playing 0 was just like heartbreaking.
Yeah. Oh, well, I'm so happy that you pushed through. Like, that takes a lot, girl. So, high five for
Thank
being
you.
a badass.
I mean, I had a lot of really supportive people around me, too, that it hadn't been for them. You know, shout out to my husband and, you know, some of my family and stuff and friends that were like, no, we'll stick by you and we'll make sure. We're going to make this happen for you.
Oh, I'm so happy for you with that. That's wonderful. You said that live music itself is irreplaceable. And what do you think people miss when they only experience music through headphones or speakers?
I think, well, especially in like today's world where we have AI and so much editing and whatnot. I mean, even just thinking about the concept of that human relationship and whatnot, we miss that so much when we have, I mean, not to say recordings are bad, because they're not.
But it's different.
But it's a different experience. You're missing that human element. You don't have the spontaneity. I mean, things happen on stage all the time. You mess up, you make a weird face, or, you know, or maybe someone, if you're playing, say, jazz or folk, somebody does a riff that you weren't expecting, and you're like, oh, I guess we're doing this now, you know?
Keep you on your toes.
Exactly. And I think there's just so much more emotion that can be portrayed that you can experience in a live performance. Whereas, you know, on a recording, it's heavily edited most of the time. With singers, often there's auto-tune involved or things like that. And I mean, all of these things are tools. They all have their place. But I know for me, like where I really have the most fun as a music listener and maker is definitely in the concert hall, or, you know, at a pub even, you know, when you've got like the, you know, the Friday night guitarist out there who's just singing their songs. And
I vibe with that.
Yeah, exactly.
I totally get it. For me, live music's a little bit of a different experience. I'm half deaf. So I can't quite hear everything, but
you can
live
feel
music
it.
I can.
Yeah.
So I experience it in a whole other different way,
Totally,
right?
yeah.
So I'm a huge advocate for live music.
One of my favorite musicians of all time, she's a percussionist named Evelyn Glennie. Everyone should Google her.
Hey.
She's 100% deaf.
Wow.
And so when she's one of the best percussionists in the world. People write music for her all the time.
Wow.
When she performs, she comes out in bare feet and she just feels the vibration.
Makes sense.
There's a really cool TED Talk if anyone is interested. I highly recommend checking that out.
Okay, I'm totally going to hit you up with that.
Yeah, it's awesome. So.
Right on. Oh, I'm excited about that.
Yeah.
And I never even thought about bare feet. Next time I karaoke, it's
there you
on my
go.
Donkey
You'll be able to
Kong.
feel the vibration.
Heck yeah. This is great. What is your favorite kind of gig to play? So is it like something classy, formal, or is it just something fun and unexpected?
That's a hard one because every gig is different.
That's fair.
And I would say if I have like a choice, as long as I'm playing with other musicians, that's hands down my favorite.
Right
I
on.
love the interaction of playing with other players. I mean, there's joy in the solitary ones as well, but definitely the group element is my jam for sure.
Right on.
And yeah, and it doesn't matter if it's like a wedding or if it's in like a fancy church or a concert hall. As long as you're playing with great people, it's always a great time.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, you got to tell me about the Star Wars anthem. I got to hear this
That's
story.
not even the weirdest one
No,
I've done.
okay, well then hit me with some weird. I'm here for the weird.
So a number of years ago, I guess it wasn't that long ago, because if everyone remembers the Super Bowl from when they had all the rappers.
Yeah.
So I got contacted to do a wedding, and they wanted literally the soundtrack from the halftime show for their wedding ceremony.
Well, that's wild.
So that's one. And another one, like you get weird requests, and sometimes you have to kind of question people and go like, do you know what you're asking?
Yeah.
Because I got asked to play Rihanna's Unfaithful one time, and I was like, you want to walk down the aisle to that? Like, are you planning on breaking up with your partner at the altar? Or
well, snap.
Yeah, so sometimes you get some interesting requests.
Yeah, that's a choice. I'm here for it. Do you, boo?
Yeah, and I've done I've done Super Mario music.
Get out of town.
Yeah, like
that's gonna be in my head all day now.
Yeah.
Love it.
So,
oh my God, you're fun. As a teacher, what's one moment with a student that it stopped and made you say, like, this is why I do this?
I think when you have, I'm very lucky. I've got a studio of about 35 students, like individual one-on-one students. And then I also work with a seniors choir and orchestra as well in the South Okanagan. And I think just when you see them progress and they get really excited about something, whether it's maybe they're playing a duet with one of their friends because their friend also takes piano or violin or something like that. Just seeing them like learn, and then you can see like the wheels ticking in their head as they're going, and then they're like, oh, or I have a student, I won't name names, but she probably knows who she is if she's watching this. She came to me and was just in a situation where like she hadn't really found her groove in something, and she started taking lessons, and within like a few weeks she went from doing a 30-minute lesson to a 1 hour, because she was just and she's just grasping it, and you can just see the joy, and she's asking the questions and stuff. And she's like, no one's ever taken the time to explain things to me or to answer my questions about something I'm interested in. And so to have a kid who's only, 6, 7 years old come up to you and be like, no one's ever listened to me or given me the time to be like, hey, no, this is how we, let's make something of this. And yeah, it's just, I don't know. It also really humbles me too, because it reminds me how hard it is to play the instrument. Like violin is not for the faint of heart.
Oh, I can imagine.
So many people are like, oh, that's like so hard. And like, there's things like, I don't think about, oh, my bow needs to be like here, or I need to like have my hand relaxed. Those are things I take for granted. Whereas if you're a new player, you struggle with that. Yeah. So.
That's neat.
So it's humbling for me also.
Well, it sounds like you're an incredible teacher.
Well, thank you.
And I'm sure
I do my best.
Well, it sounds like there's an impact there, right? Like big impact. You can bring music to someone's life. That is so cool.
Yeah, absolutely. So cool. And I feel like any age too, right? Like I said, like at my seniors choir, the teenagers in Penticton, like the average age when I first started directing them was 88, and there's like 60 of them.
Heck yeah.
So, and then they're just, they laugh at my jokes, and, because I'm a bit of a ham. And
no, don't know nothing about that one. Well, damn, that sounds so much fun. You've studied both violin performance and composition as well. How do those two skills work together when you're creating or you're performing?
Yeah, I guess one of the biggest flexibilities it gives me is because I have the composition background. If I'm not the best improviser. I will be completely upfront about that. I have much more talented improvisers in my musical family than me, but I think, so say you're doing a gig and something goes a little bit awry, or like maybe they start playing the wrong track and you're supposed to be playing with a track. I have enough knowledge and ability from just being really comfortable on my instrument to be able to improvise and be able to like kind of hear melodies in my head before I play them. So if like something goes wrong, or if I need to improvise, I can do that kind of on the fly, because it does happen sometimes, right?
It's gotta be a lot of pressure, I can imagine.
It can be, yeah. I remember doing a gig actually just out of university, and it was kind of a musical mashup. So we had an Iranian singer, and then we had an Indian tabla player, and then they had hired a string quartet. And we're like about to walk out on stage. It's being filmed and like live screened. The tickets were super expensive for the time, like $100.
Yeah.
Packed house. And we're about to walk out on stage, and the singer's like, oh, when we get to this part, you're going to just all take a turn and improvise for like 48 counts. And I'm just like,
all right then.
Oh, okay. So in the style of, and he's just like, you'll figure it out, and the singer will do something with you too. And it's like, oh great. I'm like, cool. That's not stressful at all.
No, not at all. You're good.
So yeah.
Just roll with it.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh my God, I would panic. I'd be like,
oh, there was definite, like me and the other players were all kind of like, what help.
Yeah, but you rocked it though, didn't you?
We did. I mean, we made it. I don't know if we rocked it, but we survived, and there were,
Well, that's
no
good.
train wrecks.
Train wrecks sometimes, those are all right.
They can be entertaining. Yeah.
I'm not going to be one today, or again today. Let's go with that.
Okay, sounds good.
So you mentioned that musicians are undervalued.
Mm-hmm.
Can you talk about what that looks like and how that needs to change?
Yeah. So often, I do a lot of gigs, play a lot of weddings and whatnot. And oftentimes, when people are looking to book musicians, I feel like they underestimate how much work it is to be able to play at the level that we play at, to be able to come and be like, okay, you have a wedding, you want this piece, this piece, this piece, this piece, I can make that happen.
Mm-hmm.
Oftentimes it's a quartet or a trio. We're sight reading at the venue day of. And because we have, 10, 20, 30 years of training, we're able to do that. Had we just picked up the violin a month ago, that would not be possible.
So much, no.
And I think people underestimate that we're really like athletes. We put as much training in and as much time and effort as an Olympic athlete does to be good at our craft and to be at the level we're at. And oftentimes what happens is we're the last people to be thought of. And as soon as you start quoting anyone like over $300 for a wedding, they're like, oh, my budget was like 70 or 75 or maybe 100.
Was that like the gas to get out there?
Yeah, exactly. And then, so that's always, I'm like, okay, so it's gonna take me an hour and a half to drive there, an hour and a half to drive home. I have gas, I have wear and tear on my instrument. Oftentimes in the Okanagan, people like their outdoor venues as well. So that's so much harder on my instrument. Usually means I have to replace my strings more often. Strings for a violin are around $160.
Yeah, it's not cheap.
No, so it's like, okay, so this gig doesn't even cover the cost of like the strings that I might have to replace.
Yeah, and you may love what you're doing, but you can't do it for free.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I still have to pay my rent, and like all your other vendors, you have to, doesn't matter whether it's a conference or something, you pay all your vendors ahead of time. And usually the instrumentalists, they're like, oh, we'll get you the day of kind of thing. Or if, like for me, I have a pretty ironclad contract that I usually put out and I request to be paid in full 7 days before. And if I'm not, too bad, so sad kind of thing. And I have had a couple instances where I've had to be like, hey, it's the day of, and I've given you all the notice. I've sent you all your reminders. Your planner sent you reminders, or your event planner, or whoever, and you didn't come up with it. Well, why didn't you just drive here and play for my event? Somebody would have paid you then. And I'm like, your food vendor doesn't show up with food for 200 people hoping they get paid, right?
Yeah, no, because that does happen. Some people just don't get paid.
Exactly. And I've had that happen.
Oh, that's
and
a
I'm in I've been doing this long enough that I'm like, you know what? I value myself. I value the fact that I have been playing since I was 7. And like, I literally dropped out of school for a few years to just practice so I could be at a level to get into a university program. Yeah. And I was in a really demanding program where they took like 6 players.
Damn it.
Yeah. So it's like, like it's a really, it takes a lot of effort and a lot of hard work to be successful as a musician. And like I say, we're athletes too, but a lot of times people are just like, oh, you took a few lessons or whatever. And it's like, no, I practiced like from the age of 11, 12, I was practicing 4 or 5 hours a day.
That's wild.
So, and then like in university, 8 to 12 hours a day. So
yeah, and I think people kind of like are treating it a little bit more like, hey, you're a DJ.
Yeah.
Let me just put my music in. You got this go, right?
Exactly. And that's not, you're paying for my years of practice. You're paying for my instrument wear and tear. Just like a photographer, they have to change lenses all the time, wear and tear on their stuff if they're outdoors, all of that kind of thing. You're paying for all that upkeep and all that, effort they put in. Also, I spend a lot of time kind of curating playlists for all of my clients.
That's fabulous.
To be like, okay, I've had my interview with you or my consult, and like, let's work together and make sure it's going to be a really good event for you. And that is also like, that's non-playing time, but that's still part of the process and part of the package. So.
There's so much there that goes on that people just don't know, right?
Exactly.
And then they find out with a shock. And
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's cool. You know what? If we educate more and we get that out there, social media is great for that, right?
Yeah, totally.
I saw some of your videos that you put on. Like, I was like, oh my God, this girl's fabulous. I love it.
Well, thank you.
So that's great too. I'm sure that's got to help a little bit when people start to see the behind the scenes of what.
Yeah, I think so. And I think a lot of people just aren't aware, like you say, like they just think, oh, they just pick up the instrument and play. And it's like,
a little more than that.
There's a little more than that. And there's a lot that I've had to do to be able to just do that, on the fly if I have to. So.
Yeah. Well, you sound like you're a rock star. What is something that most people would be surprised to learn about being a violinist?
I mean, I guess it kind of consumes your life if you're really into it. But I guess kind of an interesting one, actually, speaking of brain stuff from earlier, is that violin is a very left-hand centered instrument. And so most people are right-handed, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So there are studies that have been done on musicians of all varieties, and particularly with violinists, violists, and cellists, because it's a left-hand dominated instrument, our brains develop differently on our left side based on this. And there's more cognitive development for trouble solving and like solving complicated mathematical equations, things like that, because you're developing an area of your brain that is normally underutilized. So they've done like MRI studies and stuff to see how your brain works and moves and stuff. It's really interesting.
Yeah, that sounds rad as hell. Yeah. I would love to like be
although I'm terrible at math, so I don't know where that came from.
Maybe problem solving. Forget the numbers. It's cool. You'll just own the world.
Exactly.
Domination day.
Yeah.
If anybody wants to come and be a student or connect with you to come and play, how do they get a hold of you?
You can email me or visit my website, kelseyzachary.ca. My email's on there. I mean, you can also email me, kelseyzacharymusic@gmail.com. But I've got all my info on my website about my lessons, my group classes that I offer. I teach in West Kelowna, Penticton and Summerland. And yeah, and if you want to, like, if you're looking for stuff for gigs or events, same deal. Just contact me through there and we'll get you in.
That sounds great. And we'll also put all of your information and your website up onto our page. Yay. So come find, stock nicely, and do the do, right?
Absolutely.
Okay. I have been waiting all day to hear you play. Ready to show us a little magic?
Let's try it.
Okay, high five time.
Awesome. I'm going to play the Appalachian Waltz by Mark O'Connor. Kind of a unique thing about it is that I will be droning on one of my strings while playing. So for almost the entire piece, I will be playing on 2 strings, which is not typical for the violin.
Yeah, I mess up all your stuff and I know what you're doing. That was lovely.
Thank you.
Like, had me like goosebumpy and everything. All right, if anybody wants to connect with Kelsey and reach out and see some more of this fabulousness, definitely reach out on the website. We will have all of our information on our site for sure. Reach out. You definitely want more of this. I want to thank you again for coming on the show.
Thank you for having me.
You've been incredible. It's been lovely.
Thanks. Thank you so much for inviting me.
Absolutely. Come back anytime.
You know, I tried playing the violin once. I even went on eBay, bought an electric one. I was like, I'm going to teach myself. And then I went like this. I got like 4 strokes, and then the entire thing went boing.
Oh no!
Like the rosin,
the bow part.
Yeah, I just went. I was like, well, there goes that.
You probably had bow bugs or something on the bow because the hair is horsehair, and so you can actually get little mites that like to chew it all away. So, but I mean, I get my bow rehaired like 2 to 3 times a year.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no.
So
It was a Chinese one, and
it probably just had bow mites in it. That's pretty common with the ones that come from like overseas that are factory made.
I thought I did something wrong, so I never went back and did anything with it.
Oh no!
Because I've always wanted to like learn to play the violin. Because I was like, I'm a Sherlock Holmes. I'm gonna walk around my apartment
and just play.
Be sad and just play.
If Wentworth has like really cheapy bows for like $40.
Get out of town, really?
Okay, I'll have to try.
So just go grab yourself a new one, and those ones are better than the.
Yeah, because I think I paid $90 when I got off eBay.
Yeah, there you go. So
well, all right.
Yeah,
it's time to go to Wentworth.
Exactly.
Win.
So awesome.
Right on.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. That was lovely.
Yay! I'm so glad.
So pleased. This is great. Okay, it's probably leave you alone. Just like stay, hang out, let's talk.
You've got other people to talk to.
Right, that whole thing.
That are not me. Thank you so much.
Thank you, guys. This has been wonderful. Thanks, lovely. Now, from city centers to city streets, Sterling and I grabbed the camera, laced up our sneakers, and set out for another Kelowna adventure. You never know where you're going to find when you follow the rhythm of this city. So, come along for a wild ride.
If I was to describe Knox in one word, I would say community.
I'd describe Knox as tranquil.
A word that describes Knox, peaceful.
Awesome.
Compare it to parts of Iceland.
Beautiful.
Vibrant.
To me, Knox Mountain offers a sense of community, togetherness.
I would probably say the word I'd use to describe Knox Mountain is majestic. It's majestic in its size, it's majestic in its appearance from different places in the city, but it's the views are majestic when you're at the very top.
Hi, my name is Betty Goodacre.
My name's Brooke. And mine's Timmy.
My name is Jessie.
Oh shit. My name's Mitchell.
My name's Marco.
Luke Faracco.
Craig Foster.
Carrie McNall.
My name is Dan Dirtman McFarland.
My name is Karen.
Came to Knox Mountain today to take my dog Mojo for a good walk. I used to come here, at least a few times a week, but to be honest, this is the first time I've been here since probably this spring, mostly because in the summertime it was too smoky or too hot, or the mountain was on fire.
We're doing a little disc golf on a beautiful November day here.
And it's a great spot to just ground and get some sun. I feel it's important to get out in nature just because it helps me ground myself, be present, connect with my body and my mind and spirit, and just helps recharge me.
Because I feel like if you're always in kind of concrete buildings like in university studying, I almost lose my mind a little bit. It grounds me and it kind of relaxes me to come out here.
To increase your overall well-being, I think there's a lot of grounding properties, whether it's, even if you're not an anxious person, most people report that it does help them and help ground them. You come out feeling a little bit more content and you've done something good for your body.
Getting out in nature is therapy. It's mental therapy, it's physical therapy, spiritual therapy.
Yeah, it just helps you slow your mind down for a little bit. Get off your phone, get off your laptop, just be out there for a bit. Don't worry about anything.
For me, I have a pretty busy job and pretty stressful. Clears the head, clears the mind, makes you think about, the beauty of where we live. the views on this mountain are spectacular. You know, running into wildlife early in the morning, seeing deer running around, it's just a game changer.
I've been coming to Knox for probably 30 plus years.
Very often, like daily probably.
Been about 2 years.
During the summer, try to get out twice a week, I'd say.
I try to disconnect from screen time and social media on a daily basis, but I watch my kids and they're 31, 32 and it's glued to their face.
I don't disconnect from social media very often, but I think it's very important and I think it's something that I need to do a lot more.
But as far as getting away from the social media, except for the little app that we have called UDisc that we follow our scores with and other people's scores, then once I'm out of the house, I put it away.
The only time I would use my phone if I put a podcast on, if I'm hiking on my own. Sometimes I like to put beautiful classical music on while I hike. I think that's kind of a wonderful moment to listen to Andrea Bocelli when you're at the top of the mountain. It kind of gives me the chills.
I think number one, what makes Knox stand out is its accessibility and its variety of activity.
A happy memory was back in the early 90s when Bobby Unser and Robbie Unser, and you look them up, they're two of the top racers ever in the world. I had a chance to ride up the mountain in a Jaguar E-Type at about 60 to 70 miles an hour up the hill. And I came down with Robbie Unser, 3-time Indy champion, all-time hero in a Camaro, where we dropped a muffler halfway down and stood with Robbie Unser and Bobby and explained all about the legend of the lake with them. So I go like, wow, still have pictures of that.
If Knox disappeared tomorrow for development, I think it would be a huge blow to Kelowna. I think that many people rely on this mountain, and I think that it would change so much, particularly to the north end, which I think has seen a bit of a resurrection as people have discovered this area and discovered the beauty of Knox. And even the lake around here, I often quite come down and swim after a hike down here in the summer because it's perfect. It's a great place to just jump in the lake after you've had a hike and you're really hot. So it'd be terrible if we lost the mountain.
I'd be a bit disappointed because it is a really big trail that people come and walk their dogs at and have their kids come out to play on.
Oh my gosh, that was such a vibe. Every time we head out with the camera, we end up finding something unexpected, hilarious, or just plain beautiful. Kelowna always keeps us on our toes. It's like this town got layers, you know? You're just filming a few shorts and suddenly you're in the middle of a full-on moment. And big love to everyone out there repping Kelowna spirit in the most creative of ways. We'll see you again next time we hit the streets. Now, hang tight, After Darkers. We've got more talent, more stories, and a whole lot more awesomeness on the way. Don't touch that dial. We'll be right back.
Kelowna isn't just a destination, it's an experience. A city built around innovation, artistry, and luxury.
A place where cultures blend, creativity thrives, and adventures everywhere.
Hey, I'm Silver.
And I'm Sterling, and together we're going to uncover the unique rhythm of Kelowna with Okanagan LUXX. Kelowna isn't your typical tourist spot. It's where luxury meets creativity, where innovation blends with natural beauty, where every experience feels curated just for you.
From world-class wineries and handcrafted goods from local markets, public vibrant art, and cultural experiences, Kelowna has something unique at every turn. Whether you're a visitor or a local rediscovering your own backyard.
But the true heartbeat of Kelowna? The people. The artists, chefs, entrepreneurs, and visionaries who create experiences you won't find anywhere else.
We're diving deep into the culture, the flavors, the creativity, and the innovation that makes Kelowna more than just a place. It's a way of life.
This is the Okanagan like you've never seen it before.
This is Okanagan LUXX.
Okanagan LUXX. Discover the art of experience.
Welcome back to Kelowna After Dark, you radiant rebels and late night dreamers you. I hope you took a moment to reset because our next part of our journey, it's heartfelt, it's head turning, and a whole lot of wow. Scene is set, vibes locked in, and the next guest, total main character vibes if I've ever seen it. So let's meet him. You know those rare humans who seem to blur the line between artist and explorer, part musician, part philosopher, part community builder? That's our next guest. He's a singer-songwriter, speaker, and creative investigator who literally has walked over 4,000 miles across Canada with his guitar, sharing songs, stories, and heart-to-heart connections with complete strangers along the way. He's studied under some of the best, songwriting with multi-Juno winner David Francie, music with Grammy legend Victor Wooten, and storytelling with best-selling author Bernadette Jiwa, and even entrepreneurship with Kathy Heller, Chris Bradley, and Seth Godin. From custom concerts and corporate keynotes to community workshops and house concerts, he has built a life and a legacy around one powerful idea, that curiosity leads to connection, and connection leads to transformation. Let's give a warm After Dark welcome to the ever curious, ever creative, and ever inspiring Michael Averill. Hello, hello. Welcome to the show. Yes, hugs. I like hugs. Thank you so much for joining us today. Come and join me on the big comfy couch over here.
Awesome. I love this color.
It's fun, right?
Kill it.
So how's your date going, lovely?
Excellent.
That's great.
Yeah.
Are you ready to dive into some questions with me?
Definitely.
Winning. All right, then. So let's start with this fun thing. You've walked all across Canada, right?
Mm-hmm.
That is amazing. Tell us about that. How did that journey start for you?
It started in a kind of happenstance ways, actually, originally with a song that just kind of hit me one morning.
Really?
That was really all about, felt like remembering my dad.
Aww.
My, right just before, a week before I was about to release the very first album I ever put out in the world. This is back in 2012. I literally woke up on my couch with a tune in my mind that was all to do with the words of, I'd rather walk 3,000 miles just to hear the East Coast wind in my ears. And just this kind of stuff. And I never really used numbers in my songwriting before. And I'm like, what the heck is this song coming up? And it just kept going. And I was just laying there, not sure whether to get up and write something down.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes, as a songwriter or creative, you worry if you don't write your idea down, it's going to go out the window somewhere
That's
else.
fair.
And it just kept going, and it just kept getting more verses. And eventually I got up and I'm like, what's the deal with 3,000 miles? And so I had this thought, and I'm like, wait, if I look into Google or whatnot, it said, as the crow flies, from point to point, that actually is the rough distance across Canada.
That's perfect.
But then it just kind of dawned on me, and I thought, I wonder if that's my next project. I wonder if that's something I'm kind of supposed to do.
That is so cool.
And for lots of reasons, because the song came out and acknowledges my dad as kind of a tribute, because he just walked everywhere. That was kind of his main operandum. And we'd go out for dinner, we'd go to whatever, and he'd just prefer to walk home.
Mm.
So I'd rather walk became kind of his motto, and that's what the name of the song was. And it just kind of burst out, and it was one of those moments where I just felt like, okay, this is a big thing. This seems like a crazy thing. I don't know if I'm gonna do that, but maybe I will. But it just felt right. So when I actually went to my first album release, and at the end of the show, I just announced it to everybody that I was going to do that. I was gonna do this walking tour of Canada, and I had no idea how that was gonna happen.
Oh, yeah, that's a thing, eh?
Yeah, and it was a pretty profound moment to just say that to an audience of a whole bunch of people that are just, one, shocked. There's just this silence that I heard in the back, but after a few seconds there was somebody in the offside of the left row that said, I'll meet you in Winnipeg.
Nice.
Or I'll see you in the mountains. All of a sudden, this person by person started jumping on the bandwagon of that, and it just felt like, okay, yeah, there's something right here. There's something special. And it was a neat indicator that people were going to be there along that ride with me and for me. And that was really exciting.
That sounds interesting. I love it. It's like you were tuned in and looking, going, okay, I like this. Is it good? Is it good? All right, it's go time.
Yeah.
That's exciting. I wonder how many people ignore those moments and then miss something spectacular for themselves. So good for you to have the courage to jump in on that.
Yeah, it's a practice. I think that's something that I wouldn't have done that had I not had an experience that was just like what you're talking about, of simple things of like even just going out, in the day, deciding whether you go left or right, or do I go the same way to work every day? Do I do the same patterns? When you just kind of throw little things or pay attention to, like, maybe I don't want to go that way. Maybe I want to go this way for some reason, or I want a blueberry muffin. I'm not sure why, but like sometimes we just write off that and don't do it and stick on course. But really beautiful things happen when you pay attention to that and you listen to it, and it's a muscle. It's a muscle you can strengthen and build. And the more you listen to it, the more active it becomes. And it just seems to lead to cool experiences, cool people, new insights. And that feels what life's all about.
I totally understand that. That's how our show kind of ended up being a thing. So yeah, those moments are definitely fun.
Amazing.
So you have studied with so many different incredible people. And tell us about how that mix of mentors has shaped the way that you create and then you connect through your art.
Yeah. What I've appreciated about a lot of the different mentors I've come into work with have been through scenarios like that. David Francie, for example, was a neat one because I actually didn't know who he was. And a friend of mine at the time suggested that I go to the songwriting camp with him.
Well, that's neat.
And they're saying like, he's a great guy. You should check out his music. I think he'd be a really good fit. And like I said, I didn't know. And actually it got to the point where I preferred not to know anything about him until I was signed up and in the space. And it was a really small, intimate songwriting workshop at the Mission Folk Festival in 2012.
Oh yeah.
And there was just 6 of us. It was such a small group. So we got to really hear his stories, and he's an amazing storyteller. And at one point we were sitting at like a beer garden afterwards, and I just really wanted to ask him how he got his start, or like really, like I had a bunch of questions, and it just seemed like there were so many people that knew him and were coming in and out, and I just couldn't really get my words in. And that was kind of a picture of the kind of person I was at that time. I didn't really speak up. It took me a lot to just like say what I wanted to say or ask. But then he asked me, and he said, like, so what's next with your music, and what's happening? And we had this really beautiful connection where he's the one that got me into house concerts.
Oh, that's cool.
He's like, just watching what you do, I think you'd be really good at this because you love to engage the audience. You love to have this back and forth, and the intimate thing really would serve you well. And that's how he got his start.
Oh, that's cool.
He didn't want to play in places that ignored the music. You know, like he wanted to go where people listen. And that's what he recommended to me. So after that, I was sharing this with my mom here in Kelowna, and she's like, yeah, I'll host your first one.
Go mom.
And then, just extended family or other friends or people that love music all around Canada just started raising their hands to be a host. And what was beautiful about that, and something that I still love the most out of any performance experience, is people say it gives them a reason to invite their people into their space for something special.
That's very
which
fair.
Normally maybe they wouldn't, you know, so getting to be a catalyst for others to have a good time together.
That's special.
Felt really, really great. And it always just made for really original and unique performances that were always different, getting to see how people live, what their spaces are like, and the creativity that has gone into that.
Yeah.
And that could influence the songs, or at least give people a moment not to just like listen to me, but a lot of the times I invite them to share their stories, which they then start talking about things with each other that they normally don't.
Yeah.
Which can be quite therapeutic.
I can imagine, breaking boundaries there and just giving a safe space. It's okay, go ahead, let's share.
Yeah, or if I have a song that's really goofy or whatnot, but it approaches maybe sometimes a challenging topic, that all of a sudden now it's talkable. Like say, for example, mismatched socks.
Yes.
This has been a lifestyle choice for about close to 25 years.
I bet you have an exact pair at home. Exact pair at home.
I don't, though, actually. That's the funny thing.
That's awesome.
Put 5.
I can't take them out much.
That's okay. I love it. That's my first foot 5 I've ever had.
Yes.
So thanks for that.
Keeping it interesting over here. You really push the idea of curiosity, right? And following that.
Big time.
Can you share a moment where that curiosity pulled you somewhere that you didn't expect at all?
Yeah. Well, where that all started, I used to work as a personal trainer for a lot of years, and I was in the health and wellness industry. I was a competitive hurdler for a lot of years, so very different life. But there was a big transition where it just felt many things in life happened where I had some health scares of my own. My dad was terminally ill in a phase of time there. There was just a relationship that had just ended that was really stressful, and there was like a clean slate of time and opportunity. And with that, I decided to just try an experiment from a video that I saw on YouTube that was just talking about what leads to success. And the main idea was the quicker you can shorten that time between that like those creative ideas that we have and the action on them, the more likely you're probably going to be successful in how you define that.
Yeah.
Which is a really beautiful thing to think about in its own right. But I decided I was going to do for 3 days, just like I was telling you, that wander around exercise.
Yeah.
To do that constantly for 3 full days, because I had the time now. And I did, and I started just doing that kind of thing. And it was immediate. Within the first 5 minutes, I started discovering parks that I never realized were just around the corner, because I've been doing the same flipping route every single time, or got to meet really great people, and have conversations that would lead to these amazing books or instruments coming into my life or whatever. But it was a beautiful thing to realize that just thinking about that and living your daily life can feel like what it feels like to travel.
Okay.
Or to go to another country, where we think we got to leave to have that feeling. But that started bringing it up. And it was just such a joy. I remember I thought I was going to go for half an hour for the first day of this walk, and it ended up being a 12-hour walk around the city.
Really?
And it just kept going, and I couldn't wait for the next day. And it gets to the end of that experiment, day 3, and I've paid attention to it so much that it just gets faster and stronger.
Yeah.
And to the point where I'm going to a barbecue and I'm running late. It's the only thing I've had a time restraint on. So I come up to a street, and I decide not to go down that road that it feels like I want to go. And all of a sudden it feels like it hurts. It's like feels awful to not do that.
Yeah.
Which is ridiculous, because it's like I'm just going to a barbecue or something like that. There's no stress if I was late. But it just felt like now as a principal, I like being on time. So I avoid it. I actually turn down that instinct. And as I was walking, it just gets worse and worse, and it just starts hurting, and gets to the point where I'm just like, you know what? I've done it this far. I can't give up at the finish line. I got to go back.
Oh, good for you.
So I did. And I go down this alley, and one side of it's a dead end, and the other side, there's this mark on the ground, giant, like this color orange.
Really? Okay.
With like paint and footprints walking through it, going in this direction. There's an arrow pointing that way with a big spray paint message that says, "Your life begins here."
Oh, that's super cool.
And it was unreal. And it was just the timing of it all, because just so much of it just hit me like a ton of bricks in terms of what it felt like life can be now. And everything was just reset. So I went that way. And that's kind of that's the way I've lived ever since. And it seems like every good thing that has happened has come from just that.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
Like, it sounds so serendipitous.
Yeah. Yeah, that's how I met my wife shortly after that. Aww. That's how this whole tour came about. Like, there's so many, I've written a book about all of that.
Yes, let's chat about your book. Okay. Yeah. It's coming out soon, right? And it's inspired by your walking tour.
Yeah.
What can readers expect if they get your book?
Yeah, it's going to be a fairly immersive experiment, a lot of journeying around, but I'm working at integrating music into the book, which is cool. a new way that was exciting for me. I wasn't sure how I was going to release music going past the age of CDs.
Yeah, that's fair, right?
Yeah, I was not pulled to vinyl or other things or CDs again, but this felt really exciting, and being in the storytelling community with people like Bernadette Jiwa, being around those writers and storytellers, they inspired me to say, hey, like, you should write this down, because typically I'm just a teller.
Okay.
And I actually did really bad at English in high school, and it was the worst subject I had.
Really?
And I think because of that, I was like, I'm never writing. I'm never doing anything like that. So, but because of them hearing the story, they're like, yeah, you should put this down. So they've been there all the way for like the last 4 years.
Wow.
Just supporting every little bit and helping me craft, giving feedback. One of them is my editor right now. Another one's helping me with a cover design. So it's really an honor and a beautiful thing to reflect on. So much gratitude of falling into a community like that, and just feeling that support to do something I don't think I ever thought I would do.
Well, it sounds like it's been an amazing journey for you, and you were just kind of like getting started. Hey, you're like,
well, writing a book, especially like personal short storytelling, is something I would recommend everybody do at least once in their life.
Really? Eh?
It's probably the most creative and transformative thing I've ever done. All music, all art aside, it can be a challenging thing to just look at any instance in your life and say, this is how this changed me. I'm different because of this.
Yeah.
And we don't often do that.
Yeah, that's self-reflection and evaluation, right?
Yeah, because we can accumulate a lot of experience, but if you don't do that, it kind of just goes out of your memory window.
That's fair.
And it's fascinating to see what's there, even like years later. If you go back and look at it, you're like, I never realized that had that impact on me, or why I do this now.
Yeah.
Or why this pisses me off.
Right.
Or any number of things. But it's really helpful to just spend some time there.
Well, that sounds amazing.
Yeah.
I love it. Well, I am dying to watch you do what you do best. Are you ready to show us a little thing?
Yeah, well, you're going to be a part of it.
Oh, really? Okay, cool. I'm down. Let's do this. All right. Okay, cool. I will put my thing down and I'm going to hand you the stage and you tell me whatever you need me to do. Sound good?
Sounds good.
All right, let's do this.
All right. Yeah. So this one thing I wanted to share with you a bit today is just something how I've adapted songs and music that I've created through this tour, these journeys, into ways that can be opportunities to just express and hear other people's thoughts about the topic. Because like as artists or any way we go about things, we create from our mind and our perspective, which is great. That's fun. But one thing that happened to me once when I came into a workshop, a leadership group where they asked me to come and sing a song for them, teach them. I did that. There's a song I wrote called Stronger Together.
Nice.
And it's all about that. It was inspired by a friend in New Brunswick who, for her birthday, she threw out this gauntlet to me and other songwriter friends to say, hey, you write me a birthday song. And I said, sure, I'll do that. What would you want to say to the world if you had that opportunity? And she just replied back to say, together we are strong.
That's great.
Which was like, awesome. So I wrote up a little tune and the start of it goes like this. And if you want to snap, how's your snapping? Oh, that's pro. Yeah, there you go. So the way it goes just off the beginning of it, it goes, it takes one to have a bright idea, two to share the worry. It takes three to split the weight when it's too much to carry. It takes more to build the shelter that withstands the weather. Anyone can do it alone, but we're stronger together. So that's the main thing.
I love it. I recognize that. I was jamming to that, okay? I found a video of you.
Yeah.
And there's a part of that song on there. And
Yeah.
Sterling and I were jamming along.
Amazing.
Yeah, that's great. Way better in person now.
Well, so that came up in the initial part of the song. And as I started, the rest of the song just gives examples of that. It's like links in a steel chain, we are, if you want to say this, stronger together.
Stronger together.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like tool belt full of tools, we are stronger together. Yeah. Like muscles in the body, we are stronger together. Not so good. But this is fun. So this is the whole song, and the whole rest of the song goes like that. It's just like these examples. And it was really fun to write the song to think about, man, there's a lot of examples of that, of strength, and how we can be inspired or reminded by things like that.
I love it.
So once when I was in a workshop and I was teaching this, some of the participants were just they're into it, but not really. It was like an early morning thing. And I was like, okay, well, I taught them, we kind of sang along, and then I was getting packed up, ready to go. And one of the facilitators was like, he noticed that someone had their hand up, and they asked this person what their question was, and they're like, can we change the lyrics? And as an artist, I was like, oh, what do you mean change the lyrics? You can't change the lyrics of my song. And the facilitator was like, well, let's just see what happens here. And so he hands out some sheets of paper and whatnot and gives people pens, and for 15 minutes or so, they start drafting their own ideas of what being stronger together means to them.
That's neat.
Yeah, it's simple, right? It's a really cool way of going about it. And then everyone starts sharing, and when you cross out my lines and you say like a blank, whatever, what it might be. And so just as an example, I'll throw this to you. How would you give an example of what stronger together means?
Supporting somebody, genuinely.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like a friend or a family member, or
everybody.
How would you?
I think everybody. So if you're a creative or something, you're doing, just support each other.
All right. Well, I know you like this language, so like a badass.
Yes.
Supportive. Say it. We'll use pal. Pal encompasses friend, family, anyone who it could be.
Yeah, I'm here for that.
Yeah. How about Justin on the camera there? What's your idea of strength? Perfect. That is cool to think about.
Being above the strength, being able to take another look at it.
The ocean. Well, it's cool to think about how the ocean supports the ship.
Here.
Like a ocean. What's that? No, it's a great answer. Yeah. How about Rachel?
Definitely optimism and positivity.
Yeah? Okay, let's see. may totally have just butchered that word. Optimism. I totally did, but that's okay.
That's okay. None of us.
And positivity. There you go. So what was fun about this is in that experience, and one thing, it's like even just a simple question like that, you get to see in an instant everyone's view of something really important in the world.
That's fair. Yeah, that's
like just to see how that blend, and it's nice. It's amazing to see what happens when we get to know a little bit more about each other and how we see the world, because then we can be a bit more accepting of each other. We can actually get more excited and know how we can support each other better. And when we kind of get to know more of those details, I think just all of the lines tend to smooth between people, and life just gets richer. And
I like that.
we think about each other more in better ways, because I know if Justin's an ocean guy, I'm like, oh man, we would have different conversations now. Like that would just change immediately. And that's we talk about the kind of crisis of connection time that we're in, that even the World Health Organization is declaring. Little stuff like this goes a long way, because it really feels like, oh yeah, he knows that about me. He respects that about me, and we can connect on that. That actually starts changing not just our relationship, but through that our own wellness and our own health. So I love doing things like this, because now it can be like a badass supportive pal. We are stronger together, like a ship on the ocean. We are stronger together, like optimism, positivity. We are stronger together. Anyone can do it alone, but we could all use a little help. So doing stuff like this has been really fun. It was really mind-blowing for me in this workshop to see all of a sudden the people who are kind of half interested are now really engaged, because it's their words.
It changes the scene, right? When you're in it and sharing connection.
And we're all now contributing to something together, which is a really beautiful thing to come out with. And that group started taking their version of the song and performing it in different scenarios. And like the group that it was actually for was a group of people who had previously lived experience of being homeless.
Oh, wow.
And they were learning how to become leaders in their own ways, to be able to speak at city council meetings, to advocate for themselves, to give that perspective. And they start writing lyrics like the four walls of a home, like the voices singing the song, and like all that. And I was just like, holy cow, like this is super powerful. And what a neat way to be able to use a structure that I've created to empower others to just give voice. So that really set a tone for the kind of exploration that I wanted to have with music, and the kinds of experiences I wanted to bring, not only to concerts, but also to like businesses or schools or where they have teams. And then things like this can actually really help break ice and get conversation going in maybe ways where it's stuck.
Yeah.
Because they're kind of going about it a traditional way, but now it kind of is fun, and it can be jovial. And some people have really funny ways of approaching this.
Yeah.
Other ones, it's really sentimental or heartfelt or whatnot. But again, you're just giving an opportunity to see characteristics of people shine. And that's magic.
It is magic.
Yeah.
I'm taken with this. I think it's great when you give people permission to just openly talk
Yeah.
and share their ideas. It's transformative for a lot of people, right? And I think that's wonderful what you're doing.
Yeah. Well, thanks for singing along, and thanks to everyone for contributing some thoughts there. Yeah.
Absolutely. This has been so wonderful.
Yeah. Well, thanks for the opportunity. It's so sweet to come. I love what you're doing. I love the energy that you all have for the art scene and creativity and community. It's infectious to watch, and it just makes me smile coming in the space here.
Oh, that makes me very pleased.
Yeah.
Oh, that's wonderful. Yeah, this has been great, and everyone here is incredible. And if we can showcase as many people doing their thing authentically as we can, then I'm here for that.
Me too.
Right on.
Yeah.
Can we get a hug?
Yeah.
Okay, hug again. Awesome. Thank you so much. This has been incredible. Yeah. Right on. And then, so how do people connect with you if they want to host a house concert? How do we do that?
Yeah. michaelaverill.com is the best place. You can just reach out through there. I'm starting to tour again, actually, in the fall. I'm going to go out to Alberta, and then over the next year back through Canada again.
That's exciting.
And it's just looking for people at the moment now who want to host something for their inner circles, their community and intimate spaces. That's what this is all going to be about. This whole tour is called Take the Time, or the Take the Time Tour, because it's based off the first song my dad ever wrote, which has a really significant connection. So So yeah, if you want to take time, have a good time, sing together, do some fun stuff, yeah, reach out.
That's awesome. And we'll also put all of your information up on our page as well. You guys got to get in there. All right. Well, thank you so much for coming. And
Pleasure.
I want to just make some noise for Michael Averill, everybody.
Thanks.
Awesome. All right, After Darkers, we're spinning the dial and tuning into one of my absolute favorite parts of the show. This segment that drops truth bombs, flips your thinking, and makes you want to grab a notebook. It's time for another Creative Edge. Now tonight's theme, it hits in the best way, remixing the classics. Because in a world obsessed with what's next, and what's never been done, sometimes the boldest move is taking something timeless and making it yours. From old school formats to vintage styles, classic wisdom to iconic influences, the power isn't copying, it's in reimagining, in remixing, in breathing new fire into what's always worked, but giving it a twist that only you can create. And when it comes to blending legacy with innovation, nobody cooks up that creative cocktail quite like this guy. Please welcome the wizard of our technical flow, the rhythm behind the chaos, and the guy who's been remixing the show with me since day one, Sterling LUXX, with this week's Creative Edge from the LUXX Box.
All right, everyone, welcome back for another Creative Edge. Today's lesson is remix the classics. Okay, there's thousands of pieces of art, pieces of content, movies, films, television, paintings, clip art, any type of medium that there is. There's really good quality content of it that people already like and enjoy. So the best, easiest way to have a little bit of a success off the bat is so you don't have to reinvent the wheel immediately, so you can have some of the skills that lead to mastery, is not so much copy every other person on the planet, because even though imitation is said to be the most flattering of, what is that? Imitation?
Sincerest form of flattery.
There you go,
Yeah.
that, right?
Got
There's
you.
sincerest form of flattery. It is, because like, how cool is it if you find something that you like and enjoy, copy it, or do your best to do so, have your own little flair on it, and then the person who gets their video copied is completely flattered. I know I would be. If I did something amazing enough that other people want to duplicate it, I would be so flattered. So I'm not gonna make my own stuff right off the bat. I'm not gonna break the rules. I'm not gonna break the forms. I'm not a master at something just yet. So I'm going to remix something that is already a classic. It could be a piece of music that's already 300 years old. It could be a ballet that's 200 years old. It could be a artist that put out a awesome picture that you want to imitate, and like, how many Van Goghs have been duplicated because someone wants to duplicate that art style? Next slide, please. Tradition is a toolbox, not a cage. You can call it a cage at the very beginning. When you're in your infancy of starting something, it's like a cage because you need to learn the basics. And once you've learned the basics, then you can break that cage, get out of your box, and you're a true master because you're not conformed by the laws anymore, the rules anymore. They're a guideline, but you're allowed to bend and break them because you have enough knowledge in what it is that you're doing to pull it off. Next slide, please. Modern expression is a timeless value. This photo is amazing. This is like, they're kind of the same, but they're also different. One looks way older than the ornate frame. Looks far newer than the one with the baby and the violin. It almost looks like, I suppose if they didn't have a bunch of neon stuff back in the day. But you would think that that's a couple 100-year-old painting, and then someone else is doing an imitation of it in a new modern art form. Like, how many times has Cinderella been remade from a classic Disney version to a real life version to an all black version to any number of different types of versions that there are? A lot of cartoons are now being made real life and into the zeitgeist of what it is that is acceptable today. It could be a lot of LGBTQ content within a piece of film that never had it before, because now it's a new art form. Now it's got something else to add to the here and the now. Next slide, please. Don't be a photocopier. That's called forgery. Okay? If you make an exact copy of something and try and sell it, it's a forgery. But if you make something that is true to yourself and sell it, it's profit. Congratulations, you're considered professional. You got paid for your work. Our next guest is an immense artist, a resident artist, who's a fantastic artist. And by just looking at it, you can see how much inspiration came from other pieces of their life, which is now in their art. It's things that were mundane that are now completely new in a different form. Next slide, please. So don't just steal everything. I mean, everything in life is stolen and then it's built on top of, not just copied. But you don't want to just be a copy maker. You want to have a personal legacy to what your art is about and what it means to you, and have it as an expression of yourself. Next slide, please. So respect the process, continuously tear it apart, reimagine it, and then repeat the entire process again and again and again. And on your 100th try, you probably have something really, really good because you've done it enough times. But until that 100th time, don't be discouraged. Just keep going. Because if you stop at 20 or 1, you'll never be a master at anything. You've been a quitter, which kind of sucks. Next slide, please. So start off by remixing the classics, put your own twist on it, even if it's like 10%, and you work your way up to 30%, 40% over time. That is the creative edge, and this is over. Thank you.
Okay, Sterling coming through with another creative edge banger. That remix mindset, it's giving wisdom meets swagger. The classics will always have soul. You just gotta flip the beat. You don't have to reinvent the whole wheel, you just need to write it your own way. Whether it's storytelling, branding, or that passion project you've been sleeping on, remix it, make it resonate, make it you. Now stay with us, After Darkers, because up next, we're stepping into the vibrant world of visual art with a guest who turns brushstrokes into bold expressions. Don't go anywhere, we'll be right back after this.
Imagine a city after dark, where the heartbeat of creativity thrives. Welcome to Kelowna, a place where stories are painted with vibrant hues and the people behind them are as colorful as the Okanagan sunset.
Our late night talk show unveils the untold stories of the artists, makers, and dreamers who define Kelowna's unmistakable vibe.
Meet the musicians who turn melodies into memories and the entrepreneurs who dare to dream big. These are the stories of resilience, inspiration, and creativity shared by the people who make Kelowna come alive. Our show brings their voices to life, creating a space where their stories are celebrated and their dreams take center stage.
Where every story, no matter how small, becomes a spotlight moment.
Join us as we bring the vibrant energy of Kelowna's creative scene right into your home.
We'll take you on a journey into their lives, their struggles, triumphs, and what sparks their creative passion. We dive deep into the human connections that resonate far beyond the city limits.
Together, we'll reveal the heart and soul of Kelowna's late-night culture, one guest at a time. As local creatives ourselves, we recognize the importance of every artistic voice. Each story shared adds a vibrant note to the symphony that fuels our city's dynamic and artistic spirit.
This is more than a talk show. It's a celebration of community, creativity, and unique individuals who shape Kelowna's vibe. It's about the people behind the art, culture, and innovations, the ones who inspire us all.
Welcome to Kelowna After Dark, the best place to be once the sun goes down.
Welcome back, After Darkers. We've dimmed the lights, reset the scene, and now it's time to tap into something vivid. Because the art we're stepping into next, it doesn't just hang on walls, it moves you. Get ready to meet a painter whose world is bursting with bold color, deep emotion, and creative freedom in every stroke. Our next guest is living proof that when art comes from the soul, people feel it. A fearless creative with many outlets, from drag and performance to teaching and visual art. This powerhouse brings bold imagination to everything touched. But tonight, we're focusing on the vivid, mystical paintings that have captured hearts all across Kelowna. From painting in bed during a recovery journey to being featured as an artist in residence at Studio on Water, this vibrant force has been making waves across the Okanagan art scene and beyond. Each piece is a window into the spirit, exploring healing, humor, nature, and the magical mess of being human. And behind it all is a heart that believes deeply in the power of creation to rebuild, reconnect, and reveal what matters most. Please welcome the luminous and wildly original Shannon to Kelowna After Dark. Are you a hugger or a handshaker? Yay, hugs. Hello, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Come and join me on the couch here.
Cheers. Thanks for that intro. That was awesome.
Oh, I love to brag about you.
It's a really good one.
Here for your art, like for real.
I'm here for those tattoos.
Yeah, there's that too.
I think that's why she booked me, is because the tattoos actually.
You know what? Actually, it was your art that brought me, and I'm like, okay, you got ink too.
Yeah.
Sold. And I'm just walking about. Yeah, I'm so excited to dive in. Are you ready to let me ask you a whole bunch of questions?
Yeah, that's the good word.
Ha,
So, yeah.
it's funny.
Yeah, it's funny you used heart as well today. So
that's perfect.
I brought in a good piece.
Oh, I'm excited.
Yeah.
All right, first I'm gonna get up in your stuff, and then you can show us your art. Sound good?
Yes, please.
Right on. Well, let's start then with your creative journey. It's so multifaceted. So there's painting and drag and event production and teaching. What connects all of that for you?
It's a good question. Creativity is, that's kind of my motto. Creativity is key. So yeah,
right on.
Anything creative that I can get my hands on, it's, yeah.
You're here for
But painting is the main thing though.
How old were you when you found painting?
My first words were color, color, color. So, but I've been painting for 30 years now officially.
Oh, wow.
Kind of really took to art in high school, and I was encouraged.
That's good.
Yeah, so.
Right on. Well, that's lovely. You've described painting as both therapeutic and lifeblood. How does your process help you through personal healing?
Art is definitely therapy. Without it, I would probably be a mess of a human being.
I get that.
It's definitely been what's kept me going for a very long time. So yeah.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Yeah.
So we heard that you were painting from bed during a serious injury recovery. What role did your art play in helping you come back from that experience?
Yeah, that's a bit of a long story, but I'll try to not make it too long.
That's
but
cool. Do you do?
It's an important story for me when it comes to my art. So I had a herniated disc just before the pandemic started.
Mm-hmm.
And it was quite severe to the point where I was bedridden.
Oh.
I couldn't walk anymore. I could not sit in a chair and paint. I couldn't perform.
Wow.
So it was quite devastating. And because it happened right at the beginning of the pandemic, it was very difficult for me to get help.
Oh, yeah.
So it ended up being an almost 2-year process of healing. I ended up being hospitalized, and
Oh my God.
pool therapy was what helped me heal. And water was that. So since 2020, that's when I really started painting underwater a lot.
Right on.
And it was that whole feeling of just weightlessness and exploring the underwater worlds that really helped me to heal. It was a big part of my process. It was funny though, because Frida Kahlo is famous for painting in bed, because she was like, I think she spent most of the end of her career painting in bed, and I did not want to become.
That's fair.
Yeah, as much as I love her work, I didn't want to become Frida Kahlo, so I was very determined to heal, and that I did.
Yes, you did.
Yeah.
And good for you. That must have been a struggle.
It was a huge process, and it was very much about self-healing. The doctors stuck a needle in my spine, and they said, "Go on your merry way." But it was a big process. So, and I really learned about holistic healing, which was something I didn't really fully understand until I had to do it myself.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Wow. It seems like you've definitely been on a journey.
It's been a huge journey, yeah. And I mean, art to me has always been a way of going inward. Like you mentioned, my drag, that's my way of going outward.
Yeah.
And teaching and stuff like that. But art has always been my way of going inward. So it's something that comes very natural to me. And that was a big part of my healing process, for sure.
That's wonderful. It's got to be great to have something that you can also like recharge and take in, and then another outlet completely to put yourself out there in a different way.
Yeah, it's funny. I talked to some of the other guests, and creative people always have numerous outlets. And
yes.
It's funny, like hearing about some of theirs. We all have many different creative outlets.
It's
for sure.
neat, yeah. It's definitely a trip too, and to see the different types of skills that pair with different people.
Yeah.
Interesting for sure.
Yeah.
You're current artist in residence at Studio on Water, and that's got to be a huge milestone in itself. What does that opportunity mean to you?
Well, I have a list of goals as an artist and with my career, and in recent years, one of my goals has been to find a gallery to represent me in Kelowna, which has been tricky. my art is a little bit more mainstream nowadays than it used to be. It used to be a lot more edgy and maybe not something that would hang in a gallery in Kelowna. Although I have fortunately been showing my work in Kelowna for 20 years now, but
that's awesome.
To be able to be represented by a commercial gallery now, an amazing location, like Studio on Water is right across from Prospera Place, right next to the casino, connected to the Delta. So I'm the feature artist there. It's mission accomplished, goal check.
Hell yeah, that is. That's
Yeah.
huge. I'm gonna just give you a little round of applause
Thank
because
you.
that's badass to the max.
I'm
Very
pretty happy
awesome.
about it. Yeah.
Hell yeah, you should be. You
Yeah.
worked for that.
Yeah, 20 years in the making, but
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. I definitely have to pop by and take a look at
Yeah,
everything you
please
got
do.
going
It's
on
all,
there.
we're all local artists in there. It's all local artists, artisans, authors. It's actually a really beautiful space.
Oh, that sounds like right up my alley.
Yeah.
I'm here for anything local, of course.
Yeah.
So, oh, that's wonderful. Your work is deeply spiritual and whimsical, both at the same time. How do those two elements dance together for you on canvas?
Well, part of that goes back to my experience during the pandemic when I was very much going inward and trying to escape the world at large. So to me, art has always been something I take very seriously. I did 6 years of art school and it's my career. I'm a full-time artist. But there's a lot of snobbery in the art world. And I always remember when I was at art school and there was this girl painting mermaids. And the art teachers were like, you're not painting mermaids in art school. That's not this kind of subject.
Really, eh?
It was really discouraged. So years later, I was like, can I say F you on this one?
Yeah. Fair.
Oops, you just did.
You did. So.
I was like, F you, I'm going to paint mermaids and
Yeah.
fairies and whatever I feel like.
Good for you.
I think that the reason that people have responded to my work is because it's very authentic. It comes 100% from me. I sell my work, it's commercial, but I don't do it with the intention of selling it. It's always just as a form of expression. So yeah, I paint whatever the hell I want.
Good for you.
And it makes me very happy.
Yeah.
Especially because people respond to it as well. It's been really wonderful.
Yeah, you can see that you're putting your authentic self there, and there's a true connection.
I think people see that. Like I could be painting, Okanagan landscapes and sailboats and whatever, wine, whatever. What I think that people might want to buy.
Yeah.
But people will see through that. It's what I found. Like I paint some really weird shit.
I love your weird shit.
And people actually respond to it. So that's one thing I've learned. Like you don't have to conform to what you think people want because people will actually respond to authenticity. I don't know.
Oh, every day though. Like
yeah.
people will absolutely respond to your authenticity and they'll sniff, smell, and know you're being fake.
Yeah.
Like they just do.
Yeah. I have a very low tolerance for BS, so and the same goes when it comes to art as well.
I like that. I think we should all kind of push for more authenticity out of everyone.
I think, especially nowadays, like there's so much going on in the world. Like, just be real.
Yeah. I love it. I'm a little too real for most people,
Hey,
but that's okay. You can go and have a cup of tea elsewhere.
That's why we're chatting right now.
That's right. I'm here for it. You have said that art explores inner worlds, and can you give us a glimpse of what inspires those worlds that you're creating?
Well, my goal as an artist, my biggest goal has always been to paint whatever I could imagine. And that has taken me a very long time because, if I imagine something, I need to technically and physically be able to paint it. So it's involved a lot of skill and practice and study.
Yeah.
It costs us much because it takes me hours.
Yes! Exactly. But inner world, so, I might paint, I do a lot of underwater art, but people are like, oh, are you a diver? And it's not about that. It's very symbolic to me. Like the ocean means so much and it represents the subconscious and our emotions and all the things that we're afraid of. So sure, every now and then I'll paint a landscape, but there's usually a lot more meaning in it to me. It's not just a physical space. It has a story to it usually when I'm painting it. So
That's very special. You can see that every piece is so unique. And like, I've been stalking you online. I'm just like, I love this, I love this, I love this. I am so here for it. I've been searching for an artist for quite a while. We've been doing this for a year. And I would come across some lovely technical things. But I was like, nobody has anything to say.
There has to be some soul. Like I always say that, and I say it to my students all the time. It's like, you could perfectly reproduce a photograph of something, and it does take a lot of skill to be able to do that, but there's still no soul in it. You know, like there has to be meaning behind it. There has to be soul. Like I want to combine both skill and soul in my art.
I think you've definitely accomplished that, and your work absolutely speaks volumes at me. It's yelling, "Hey, come pay attention to me," and I'm like, "Okay, absolutely."
Good. Mission accomplished.
Right? It's fabulous. Oh, honestly, speaking of fabulous, do you want to take a look at some of your art?
I would love to.
Oh, awesome. Okay, let's go. Let's do it.
Okay, so I brought in a couple pieces to show everybody today. The first one I'm going to talk about is this one. It's called Underwater Bar, obviously, I guess. And it's a painting I completed last year, and it's actually a very meaningful piece to me. It was the first painting I did after a very tumultuous 6-month stint managing a bar, which is not something I've ever done before in my life. And it was a very interesting experience. I saw the darker side of humanity, but I also had a lot of fun. I learned how to bartend. But during that 6-month time, I did not have a moment to lift a paintbrush, and it was kind of killing my soul because I have to paint. It's just who I am. So I quit that, and then I got back to work, and this was the first painting I did after that experience. So there's a lot of emotion and experiences put into that one canvas. It's pretty much my whole bar management experience turned into something beautiful, because I had some good times, but it was also a very dark time of my life. So that's that one. And then this one's a more recent self-portrait. There's me. It's called Journey of the Heart. And it's just, I mean, it might be pretty obvious, the meaning. It's about me and my explorations in my art. I do kind of tend to wear my heart on my sleeve. And yeah, I just envisioned myself driving a heart-shaped submarine in the ocean with a little alien passenger next to me and all those strange creatures that you encounter. So yeah, my art is very much about self-exploration. So that's what this piece is about. And that being said, it's always interesting to me to hear what other people see when they look at my art and their interpretations, because obviously, you know, I'm not always going to be there to explain it. So it's always interesting to hear what others have to say too.
Okay, I just had to come and get a front row seat of all of this. Okay, tell me, how is this cool rad dude chilling here? What's bothering
Well, so
you?
the cocktails are all very ominous and dark and evil looking, because, you know, I do enjoy a drink with my friends, but managing a bar, you just see it all. So definitely, I was thinking about kind of the darker sides of alcohol. But I love octopus, you know. I think I was named the cocktails too, I think this one was called Octopus Blood or something. But
that's neat.
I paint a lot of octopus.
That is very cool. I bet it's just very fluid, eh?
Yeah, they kind of symbolize the ocean for me. They're just very mysterious and intriguing. And, you know.
That is very cool. I love the detailing down here. I love how there are things that okay, I know what that is, but wait, hold on, that's not what I thought it was, right? With Rachel, oh my God, that's a heart. I didn't even see that was a heart. I mean, I don't know how you do it.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to miss, but I mean, when you first glance at a painting, sometimes you just see the colors or whatever.
Yeah. I think this is stunning. Your work is incredible, and I love what it says and how it connects. You can feel that there's so much in these. It's just stunning.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much for bringing this here to share with us and our audience.
My pleasure.
This has been incredible.
Thank you.
Is there any way, if somebody wants to commission something or to purchase your work, how do we get a hold of you?
So on socials, I'm Shannon Lester Art, or you could visit my website, shannonlester.com, or come see me at the studio if you're in Kelowna Studio and Water. It's can't miss it, right next to the casino. So go win some money and then come buy some art.
That seems like a good way to go, right?
Yeah.
Not a bad way to spend a Wednesday.
Yeah.
Isn't that the way that art is sort of smuggled and dealt with anyway?
That's funny.
It's high pieces of value for drug trade or other
go,
trafficking.
Money laundering. I don't care what you do with my art once you buy it. That's fine.
Respect
I don't need
the
to know.
hell out of it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, that too, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, this is just stunning. I will definitely be popping by the studio.
Yeah, please do.
Absolutely,
yeah,
because I would love to see more of your stuff in person.
I think the way that my benchmark of did I make it as an artist though is, can it be traded for a kilo of coke?
Jesus.
Yeah, that's one aspect of the Kelowna nightlife I'm not so into. But
Fair enough, right? No, that's so funny. There's a lot of that here.
Oh my God, it's really bad in Kelowna. But speaking of which, I do have a new selection of work at the studio now, and I will be having a little reception again at the end of August. So stay tuned for that.
Absolutely, will do.
I'll have some champagne, no cocaine though.
That's good.
Yeah.
I
Good.
know. I'm already high enough on life.
Yeah.
The world can't handle me with anything more, okay?
I'll just sniff the bubbly.
Yeah.
There you go. There you go. This has been wonderful. Well, thank you so much for coming on the show. I've had a wonderful time chatting with you.
Me too. Thank you.
And thank you for sharing your art with us.
My pleasure.
Okay, let's give a huge round of applause, guys. Let's make some noise for Shannon Mustin. Awesome. Is it okay if I hug you?
Yeah.
Yes? Oh, thank you so much for sharing this. Wow, Kelowna, my soul just gave a standing ovation. Tonight wasn't just an episode, it was a living, breathing mixtape of what this city has to offer. We opened with our roots, with stories and sculptures, that cheeky little fruit bench, and then we watched those roots grow right here on this stage into music, meaning, movement, and pure damn magic. Kelsey showed us how a violin can speak louder than words. Michael reminded us that art isn't just made, it's lived and shared. And sometimes it carries a guitar and has a TED Talk. Everybody brought their A games. They cracked open creativity and was like, come get some. Tonight was a love letter to the creatives who make Kelowna electric, quietly, loudly, unapologetically. From artistry to music and muralists, makers, performers, and dreamers who have shaped this place. We are part of something way bigger than just one stage or one show. Tonight's guests remind us that Kelowna is not just keeping up. We've been in the creative game all along. We've been weird, we've been wonderful, and we are always having something to say. The best part, we're still writing the story, and every guest on our stage tonight are part of that next chapter. And that's pretty damn cool, if you ask me. If you guys felt moved by what you saw tonight, don't just keep it to yourselves. Go connect with our guests, follow them, support them and their work, and cheer on your fellow creatives. You can find all of their social links and tags, plus some sparkle and sass and behind-the-scenes magic from tonight's episodes on our Facebook and Instagram. Just look for @Kelowna After Dark, and go show some of our guests some love too. Speaking of love, hey babe, you want to come wrap this up with me?
Absolutely, because you're my love.
Aw, my love.
Oh, I love you so much.
I couldn't have said it better myself.
You love you so much too.
Absolutely.
No, I get
Because
it.
that's what my line said.
Oh, okay.
So whether you're a painter, a poet, a pole dancer, or a potter, just keep going, keep creating, keep shining that beautiful creative light of yours. This city needs it. Until next time, stay classy, sassy, and a bit badassy.
Good night, Kelowna!
Hey. Is that a wrap? Just one, homie? What happened to the leg?
Sprinklered out.
All right, that's great. It's done. Let's go have a break.
Okay, it's a wrap. Cut.
That's a wrap. Is that a wrap?
Cut!